Good morning, everybody. It is Monday morning, another rainy day. The aftermath of the hurricane is over with for the most part up here. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't make it out as lucky as we did. But there are a lot of good people doing a lot of good things for them that are able to, and that is freaking awesome. So shout out to everybody going down there to help people that need it. I wouldn't include the government, but I guess they do their part as well. Not as efficient as normal people going down there to help. But aside from the hurricane, I want to talk about something that is on the horizon starting tonight if it goes through. And that is the port strike on the East Coast. They're in New Jersey, Virginia, Maine, I believe, Texas, and there's another one that are potentially about to go on strike tonight if their demands aren't met. And what they're asking for, I can see one of them. They want less automation in the industry, which makes sense. The more automation you get with any job, with any company, the less work that me and you can do. Whether you're union or not, the more automation you have in a business, obviously there's going to be less jobs for people. Something else they want, I think it's a little ridiculous, is their pay. Apparently they're asking for, at the end of the contract, that they want to happen, they want it to be to almost $70 an hour, which I can see because of inflation and how bad everything has gotten. But then again, compared to everybody else and what the job is, that just seems really, really high to me. But I'm not in their union, so, whatever. If they get it, kudos to them. But the thing that I'm worrying about right now is if this goes through, aside from holiday shopping, whatever, y'all don't need to be going out and blowing all your money on holiday gifts anyway. The kids today have enough crap to play with. But there's other things in there that worry me, like manufacturing goods, automotive parts, things like that won't be coming into America. And if you look at what all is shipped into America, it's like 80% of the goods in America that we use are shipped in. You got to remember, America is not we don't make anything anymore here. And maybe this will open people's eyes up and see, like, maybe we should start manufacturing in America instead of just being a service economy. Maybe we should actually be building stuff. But if this goes through, the point is, if this goes through, food, automotive, like I said, all kinds of things will not be coming into America. And it's right around the time of people wanting to stock up in fear of the election, people wanting to stock up in fears of what's going on in the world. I have a feeling if you start stocking up now, you're going to be called a hoarder, or you're going to be. They did this during the pandemic. People were stocking up. Granted, they were stocking up the wrong stuff, toilet paper. Do you remember what y'all were labeled as, and what we were labeled as buying things extra? We were labeled as just conspiracy theorists and inconsiderate and whatever. All they're hoarding everything. The point of prepping is not to buy everything last minute. It's to buy it now, every day, every week. You buy a little bit here and there, and to progressively have more things. So when something happens, you'll have a buffer in order to replace it. Like, that's the whole point of prepping. But with this strike about to happen, everybody is in panic mode. And how fast do you think the shelves will go empty? Your local grocery store, when there's a snowstorm, empties out in not even a day. Even in my small town, it empties out in, a half a day. You got to remember, the trucks going to your grocery store, they're there for at least 4 times a week, if not more, depending on your location. Sometimes they're there a couple days, or they're there a couple times a day. And if there's nothing coming in, there's nothing to buy. And not even that. Think about your job. My job is to deliver packages to people's houses. What is your job? Does your job have to do with things being shipped across the country? Are you selling things at a store? Are you delivering stuff to people's houses? Is your job part of manufacturing in America? Because I guarantee a lot of people's jobs are not that. A lot of people's jobs are service or getting a product to somebody's house, whether you're selling it or delivering it or whatever. This dock strike, if it goes through, isn't just going to affect those people. It will affect a lot of America. I think the estimated value is like $5 billion a day, every day that they're on strike, is what is going to hurt the economy, on top of the inflation and all the other stuff that's already happened in the last couple of years. And that just thinking about this port strike has me pretty worried, more so than the other stuff, because it is something that is real, that's happening. And I know a lot of everything else is real as well, and it's happening, but I guess it's been happening for so long, we've all become accustomed to it. We've all become, numb to really bad, major things that are happening in the world. But this one is an instant. When it shuts off, within a week or two, things are going to start drying up. On the East Coast first, possibly, and then on the West Coast, throughout America. The majority of the items that come into America are on the East Coast, and they are dispersed, through rail and everything else. But I would suggest people just, today is the last day before the strike. If you have a little bit of money, if you have a little bit of extra, go get some extra water, go get some extra food, get some extra fuel for the winter if you use gas. Things like that are going to go up dramatically if this goes through, and if you're even able to buy it. I don't know, maybe they'll have a, like in World War II, where they have a ration card. Maybe you need a ration card after this. Maybe this is meant to go through to start the ration card, to start the, you have to have this card in order to buy. What's happening right now in the world was written down a long time ago. And you can call me crazy, you can say the Bible isn't real, whatever. But what's going on right now is literally talked about in the Bible. We're literally seeing things unfold, in real time. And it's terrifying to watch people not realize that. It's terrifying for people to not realize that the world is so upside down right now and so twisted inside out. I don't even know how to describe it. It is, what's that Tom McDonald song, Clown World? Where everything doesn't make sense. And everybody seems to be okay with it. And everybody seems to not worry. Nobody seems to think that this is going to affect us in America, because we've been so spoiled the last, 100 years almost. Americans need to realize that the economy is going to get bad, whether it's from this strike or not. It is the The snowball effect is happening, and it is building and building and building. It takes a while for it to build at first, but once it builds up, it starts to increase dramatically very fast. You need to have preparations for your family. You need to have, extra dog food or cat food for your pets. You need to learn how to produce your own stuff. That is a huge. If Americans produced most of what they needed and stopped buying stuff that they don't need, this wouldn't really matter to us so much. If there was a strike, if you produce your own food, if you produce what you need in America, this wouldn't really have that big of an effect. It would still have an effect, but not as great as what it's about to. Who are you going to vote for when everything is off the shelf? If there's no food left, if there's no water left, you're going to vote with your stomach. You're going to vote with whoever's promising to bring food back. You're going to vote for maybe somebody that's giving away bugs for free. I've read stories in World War II where cannibalism was a pretty regular thing over in Russia because people were starving. Crime went up really bad. And that's another thing about this strike. We wouldn't need to inhale as a country so much stuff if states would prosecute people for stealing. There are signs in California that literally say, stealing more than $950 is a crime. So what they're saying is anything below almost $1,000 worth of merchandise, that's not a crime. You won't be prosecuted. That's where all the crap is going, is a bunch of people stealing crap. Just know that this pork strike is going to affect you. It shouldn't have to. We should all be prepared so when it does happen, we shouldn't worry about it. But the majority of the people in the country, your neighbors, and you, if you're not prepared, this will affect you, your job, your economy, your ability to pay for your things that you need, your rent, your electric, your water. How are you going to afford that if there's nothing to sell? How are you going to afford food if you can't make money because your job is closed because there's nothing coming into the country? It is about to get really bad. I think that the October surprise culminated with the what Biden said a couple years ago, the dark winter. I think this might be the winter for that. I think this winter will be the dark winter that he's talking about with everything happening in the world. Y'all need to stock up. You need to read your Bible. You need to pray. You need to help out your neighbor. Moving away from that, I guess, what else is going on in the world? We've got a couple more hurricanes potentially on the way. And it's sad to see, I think near or around 100 people have died so far from this one. And I think 1,000 people are missing. Maybe in North Carolina or Georgia. I can't remember. I was reading somewhere a lot of people were missing. If you have a hurricane on the way, move. You're not going to be able to beat Mother Nature when it comes to hurricanes. You're not going to be able to fight water. This happened in Katrina. People said it's not going to happen. And when it happens, every time it happens, people die because they're too ignorant or too arrogant to move. You can lose all your stuff. It is much better to lose your material goods than to lose your family or lose your own life because you are too ignorant and you think that you can fight water, you can fight Mother Nature. Katrina showed us that. It literally moved houses around and destroyed communities. This one did the same thing. And yet people still don't want to move. People still think that they can, save their valuables, save their treasures. And it all gets washed away. If your family doesn't survive, if you don't survive, what's the point of saving all your stuff, or at least trying to? You can get new stuff. Neighbors will help out. Communities will come together to help you. I see it every time there's a house fire around me, or anytime somebody loses everything. Community comes together, and it sucks, and it's painful, and it's hard. I get that. But I would throw everything that I own away in a heartbeat to save my family. I will move in a half of a second if I had to. I will drop everything that I own if I could potentially save my family. Don't be that person. Don't be a statistic on the news saying another family died, another family drowned, another family was swept away, another family has gone missing. Don't be that statistic when things happen. When natural disasters happen, get out of the area. And people that are left, you see what happens to them. And it's unfortunate, and it's depressing, and it's sad. People were literally stuck on roofs for days in Katrina. I was just reading an article, people stuck on a hospital, I think. And I guess hospitals are a little harder to move people, intensive care, things like that. I understand that they have to be there to help people that can't move. I don't know how they could move, I guess, but I don't know. Maybe we need better protocols when hurricanes happen. Maybe we need better response times for, medical facilities to be able to transport people. We're giving billions away to other countries, but when things happen here, shit falls apart so quick. If we used all the money that we gave away to other countries to fix our infrastructure, to fix our response time to things, to fix our logistics in this country, it would be a lot better. But yet we're giving all of our wealth away to help other countries build up. When is the last time? What did the government give the people in Hawaii when all their houses burnt down? When a whole community got burnt to the ground, what did the government give them? $750 a family. $750 for a family. And how much money are we giving to other countries? Billions and billions. Every couple months. A billion, feel like Oprah. $1 billion for you, $1 billion for you, $6 billion for you, $8 billion for you. How much is $1 billion? How much do you make a year? How much does your town produce? How much does your city produce in tax revenue per year versus what the government gives away every other day? Your government is not there to help you. They're not going to be there for you. Whether it is a strike, whether it is a hurricane, whether it is some kind of natural disaster or anything like that, your government is not going to be there for you to help you. The economy is going away. Civility is going away, unfortunately. It is up to you as the father of your household or the mother of your household, whatever you are, it is up to you to protect your family, to make sure that they have what they need. That includes growing your own food. That includes saving up food. That includes, collecting rainwater, going to a spring, whatever you need to do. Stocking up right now. Turn this off and go to the store and buy stuff right now that you need. Don't go out and buy, get your nails done. Don't go out to your Pizza Hut and order another pizza. Use that money to invest for your future. Because our future is about to get really dark in this country. You don't need to start saving up for, the new flashy whatever. You need to start saving up for your survival. Because I'll be damned if I can't feed my kids, if I can't produce things for my family because I was too ignorant and I wanted to go do something else for myself. That is not what we're supposed to be doing right now. You literally can see the world is falling apart but yet we're worried about a port strike because of Christmas coming up and we can't buy toys for our family. You shouldn't be worried about the port strike because of that. You should be worried about it because the economy is going to fall apart if it lasts very long. People are literally going to starve because they don't know how to grow food, because a lot of food's not going to come in. You can't even trust the food, half the time because all the recalls. This is just something else added on to it. Just make sure y'all have some stuff stored up. Make sure you have your fuel. Make sure your vehicles are, topped off. Get extra gas cans, save them up, and use them in rotation, and continue to grow those. Be smart about storing them. Be smart about where you store your food. Be smart about when a potential hurricane is coming or a potential global economic disaster is coming, which it is. Be mindful of that. Be smart about it. Learn to hunt. Go get your hunting license, practice, use a bow, get a firearm. Go fishing. Learn how to produce your own food, collect your own food. This country is about to see the biggest shit show it has ever seen. But we're distracted by the Kardashians and whatever else y'all watch on TV. Turn the TV off. That thing is nothing but rotting your brain anyway. It's nothing but propaganda. The only thing it does is, waste your time. Get your kids off their tablets. Quit playing video games. There's a difference between spending 30 minutes or whatever playing something, and there's people that play for hours and days at a time. Your whole life is online. Everything you do is online. Get out in the real world. Go do stuff in the real world. Learn how to do things in the real world. So when real world shit happens, you'll know how to deal with it. Go talk to somebody in the real world. So when something happens, you know how to discuss, problem solving. You know how to talk to people. You know how to engage in real life scenarios. In the fake world and reality, or online reality, whatever, you can always just hit restart. You can always just do a do-over. There's no do-overs in the real world when you die. There's no mulligans. There's no whoopsies. It is about to become life and death in this country. It is about to be the worst nightmare of an economy that you can think about. Look at other countries and look what they're going through. Within a couple years, what they go through. And that's already started in America. You need to start prepping if you haven't already. And if you haven't already, I don't know why you haven't already. Start getting your things in order right now. Having things that you potentially may need. There's so much going on in this country right now. Between hurricanes, tornadoes, economic, war, there's chemical plants catching on fire left and right. There's just so much going on. Your tap water is polluted. Your food is causing cancer. There should be no reason for you not to start producing your own goods. With all of that, there's 101 justifications to start producing your own stuff. Produce everything that you can. If you don't know how, learn. YouTube is free. You can watch a 30-second ad, or you can pay for the premium, and you can watch stuff for free. You can learn how to do stuff for free. You go on Google it. All the information right now is for free. Start learning how to produce goods and services for yourself and your family right now before it's too late. Because sooner or later, the internet's going to go down, whether they just shut it off or they restrict it. If you live in another country, you already know about restrictions. They're already cutting it off. Or an EMP or a solar flare that takes it out. Start to live without electricity. Learn to live without modern, stuff. Anyway, y'all just think about that. I hope y'all have a great day. Be safe. I'll talk to you later.